Attention passionate Detroit, Lions fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Detroit Lions' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Detroit Lions fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRIENDS and Detroit LIONS fans. Let's get to the news now. Fans, buckle up because what I'm about to tell you could be one of the most significant moves in recent Lions history. Rumors are swirling around a potential trade that could reshape the entire landscape of the NFC North. And honestly, it's got everyone talking. We're talking about the Detroit Lions potentially acquiring Ja'Marr Chase from the Cincinnati Bengals. And if this move happens, it wouldn't just be a splash. It could be a seismic shift that sets Detroit up for a sustained Super Bowl window. It's a bold move, one that signals the Lions' serious intent to contend not just this year, but for years to come. And I want to walk you through all the details, the reasons behind it, and what it could mean for this team's future. So let's dive into the background first. The Bengals, sitting at a 5-10 record and already out of the playoff picture, are in a bit of a rebuild mode. They've had their struggles, especially on offense, with inconsistent production and a defense that's been giving up around 23 points per game. Cincinnati is facing some tough decisions, especially with their cap situation and the need to prioritize extensions for players like T. Higgins, who's set to hit the market soon with a $24 million price tag. The Bengals' offense has been quite up and down, scoring an average of just 24 points per game, and they're looking at potential changes to jumpstart the rebuild. Meanwhile, Lions are at 10-5 and are among the top contenders in the NFC North, especially with their offense showing signs of explosive potential if they can just get a bit more firepower at the receiver position. And that's where Ja'Marr Chase comes into play. The 25-year-old speedster has been an absolute game-changer when healthy. His 2025 season has been impressive, with 13 games started, a PFF grade of 87. 6, which ranks him among the top wide receivers in the league, and over 100 yards receiving. Chase's ability to stretch the field with an average of 4 yards per catch and a long reception of 70 yards makes him a nightmare for defenses. He's also proven to be a top-tier deep threat, with 8 receptions of 40 yards or more, ranking 3rd in the league in that category. Not only that, but his yards after catch, or YAC, is elite, leading the NFL with 521 yards, which shows just how dangerous he is after catching the ball. His target share is nearly 24%, and he's catching 70% of his targets, which is impressive given his volume of work. Chase's career stats are pretty remarkable. 570 receptions for over 400 yards and 42 touchdowns so far. His route win rate against man coverage is around 3%, and he's proven to be clutch in big moments, with 2 multi-touchdown games against the Ravens this season. Despite some injuries, like a hamstring issue that caused him to miss 2 games, he's been largely durable and consistent. What makes Chase even more appealing is his ability to elevate offenses, especially schemes like West Coast, where his explosiveness can be fully utilized. His deep threat capability, combined with his ability to generate yards after the catch, could give the Lions' offense a serious boost, especially with Jared Goff at quarterback. Goff's QBR in 2025 is already impressive at 92. And adding a player like Chase could push that even higher, making Detroit's passing game one of the most dangerous in the league. Now, why exactly are the Bengals open to trading Chase? Well, besides the cap issues and the focus on extending Higgins, Cincinnati is also prioritizing a rebuild of their pass rush and overall defense. They've allowed an average of 23 points per game, which is decent but not enough to be competitive consistently. Their offense has been inconsistent, scoring just 24 points per game, and there's a sense that they need to pivot to draft capital and youth development to rebuild the roster. With Joe Burrow leading the offense, they're still a threat, but the lack of consistency and some structural issues have made them cautious about their future. The trade idea gaining traction comes from the fact that Chase's value is sky-high right now, and the Bengals could use the draft picks to fast-track their rebuild, especially on defense. On the other hand, the Lions are in a different spot. They're competing now with a 10-5 record, and they're eager to take that next step. If they acquire Chase, it would be a game changer, a true X factor that could elevate their entire offense. Imagine Chase lining up alongside Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jahmyr Gibbs, creating mismatches galore. The Lions' coaching staff would have a field day designing plays for a trio like that, especially with Chase's ability to win contested catches and create explosive plays. His addition would boost Goff's passing numbers significantly, potentially increasing the team's points per game from around 24 to 28 or even higher. It would also improve their third down conversions and red zone efficiency, making them more lethal in clutch situations. Statistically speaking, Chase's presence would add about 300 yards to the Lions' YAC total, which is already impressive, but with him, it takes a leap. His ability to make big plays downfield would open up more space for the other receivers and running backs, creating mismatches that defenses would struggle to handle. His projected yardage for the season could easily hit around 300 yards, with a possible increase in touchdowns, pushing his total to around 45 for the year. That's exactly the kind of offensive weapon Detroit needs to consistently threaten defenses, especially in tight games and playoff scenarios. And on defense, the Lions would benefit too. With a more sustained offensive success, their defense would get more opportunities for turnovers and to pin opponents back, especially with Hutchinson and the pass rush unit playing at an elite level, with Hutchinson's 88. 4 grade on pass rushing and teams' overall improved turnover margin. Now, looking at the bigger picture, this move could be a major step towards cementing Detroit as a true dynasty. The Lions are already on the cusp, with a solid core led by Goff, Hutchinson, and a talented offensive line. Bringing in Chase would be like adding a cherry on top, a piece that pushes the team's Super Bowl odds from plus 1,500 to around plus 700, a serious jump in the betting world. If they pull this off, Detroit would be seen as one of the top contenders not just in the NFC, but across the league. Their odds to win the Super Bowl would skyrocket, and the trade would be viewed as the pivot that launches the Lions into a new era of greatness. Of course, the Bengals are skeptical about parting with Chase, especially considering their rebuild and the need for draft capital. They might demand a hefty price, possibly a first-round pick in 2026 and a third-rounder in 2027, along with other assets. But for the Lions, this is about smart, strategic moves, using their assets wisely without overpaying, especially since they have other pieces like Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's been a reliable target with a PFF grade of 82. One and a knack for creating yards after the catch. The Lions have the cap space and the draft capital to make this work, and if they do, it could be the move that defines their entire franchise trajectory. And looking ahead, a Chase acquisition would not only improve their chances this season, but also send a message to the rest of the league. Detroit is here to stay, and they're willing to make bold moves to win now and in the future. The impact on their offense would be immediate, with Chase's proven ability to generate big plays, boost passing efficiency, and create mismatches that defenses simply can't handle. This move could turn the Lions into one of the most electrifying offenses in the NFL, capable of competing with the best and making deep playoff runs. It's the kind of move that can transform a team from good to great, from playoff contenders to Super Bowl favorites. And now, Detroit Lions fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you think acquiring Ja'Marr Chase is the right move for the Lions? Are you excited about the potential of this trade, or do you think the price might be too high? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Lions. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Detroit Lions news. This is a pivotal moment, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for our team. Let's go Lions!